The galaxy, once bustling with life, now stands frozen in time. Stars twinkle coldly in the vast expanse of space. Yet something is missing. Earth, the cradle of humanity, is gone, vanished. For 1,000 years, Earth was nothing more than a whispered memory. The silent collapse, a cataclysmic event that wiped humanity from galactic records, erased its colonies and civilizations from the stars. The galaxy moved on, indifferent to the loss of a species that had once sparked countless wars, explored new worlds, and fought for survival against all odds. The Volari, the galaxy's dominant species, moved on, their ships humming with the quiet rhythms of conquest. The Zarin, an enigmatic race of telepathic beings, wove their own intricate plots in the shadows. The Korith, with their towering crystalline forms, regarded Earth as a myth, their legends of humanity twisted with time into something of folklore. And Earth? It was sealed behind an energy barrier, untouchable, forbidden. To even speak its name was to risk invoking the ancient, cursed memory of a time when humanity once ruled the stars. The silence stretched across the galaxy like a shadow that no one dared to disturb. The galaxy had forgotten, but Earth's absence left a void, a haunting reminder of a civilization lost. And in that void, something stirred, a question that no one had dared to ask for centuries. Was humanity really gone? In the heart of the Volari Union, a solitary figure hunched over ancient texts, his fingers brushing the dust of forgotten relics. Lieutenant Adrix Kyle, an archaeologist, stared at the faded image of Earth, half-worn and tarnished, yet somehow still vibrant in its depiction of a world that once was. Adrix Kyle, a young archaeologist in the Volari Union, was unlike his peers. Where others saw Earth's disappearance as a closed chapter, Adrix saw only questions, unanswered and unfinished. To the Volari, humanity's fall was nothing more than a tragedy. Its colonies lost in the dark folds of space, their people swallowed by the cosmic silence. But Adrix, driven by a deep obsession, refused to accept the death of humanity. His belief in their survival was the spark that ignited his passion. He combed through old texts, seeking clues buried in forgotten archives, searching for remnants of a past no one cared to remember. The myths of Earth, the stories passed down from the early days of galactic expansion, intrigued him. The tales of human ingenuity, of their unyielding will to survive, whispered to him like a call from the void. Despite the skepticism that surrounded him, Adrix pressed on. His colleagues laughed at his wild theories, calling him foolish for chasing ghosts in the endless dark. But Adrix was undeterred. The universe may have forgotten Earth, but he hadn't, and neither, he believed, had humanity. Adrix walked through the Volari archives, a vast chamber filled with relics from across the galaxy. He approached a display case, its glass reflecting the dim light, as he stared at the objects within. A human weapon, a fragment of a ship, a piece of art. The Volari viewed these artifacts as sacred, relics from a long-lost world that once seemed poised to conquer the stars. To the Volari, they were reminders of a species that had been eradicated, symbols of a tragic past. But to Adrix, these objects were more than relics. They were keys to the mystery of humanity's true fate. As he studied the objects, a sense of reverence filled him. The Volari saw these artifacts as curiosities, things to be examined and cataloged. Yet Adrix sensed something deeper, a connection to a people whose legacy was far greater than anyone knew. The Volari had their technology, their advanced weaponry, and their grand cities. But these artifacts told a different story. They spoke of humanity's creativity, their ability to adapt and survive in ways the galaxy had never seen. It was a power that transcended biology, one that no alien species could ever truly comprehend. Adrix's obsession grew. The more he delved into these artifacts, the more he felt that humanity's influence still lingered in the galaxy, like an echo reverberating through time. In a high-ranking Volari council meeting, Adrix stood before a room of skeptical peers. His voice, though unwavering, carried the weight of his isolation. The Volari council dismissed him as a dreamer, a man chasing phantoms. There is no Earth, no humanity, they told him. Only the myths of a species that perished long ago. Yet Adrix knew the truth in his heart. The silence that had swallowed Earth was not a death. It was a veil, one that had hidden humanity's legacy, its potential, and its power.
He fought against the tides of rationality, the cold, scientific dismissiveness of his people. Adrix knew that the galaxy's history had been rewritten, that the truth about humanity's fate had been buried under layers of deceit. He would not rest until he uncovered that truth. But his defiance came at a cost. His peers mocked him, his passion branded as folly. He was the lone believer in a galaxy that had long since moved on. Adrix's journey was a lonely one, but he had come too far to turn back now. His belief in humanity's survival was not just an obsession, it was a conviction that burned brighter with every passing day. The universe had forgotten Earth, but Adrix would not. He could feel it. Humanity was still out there. In the quiet darkness of his personal lab, Adrix sat at a console, his eyes scanning the data. Then, a sound, a crackling, fragmented signal, a voice. The signal came in fragments, like a dream struggling to emerge from the depths of the unknown. Adrix's fingers trembled as he decoded the static, piecing together the words. "We are awake." The message, barely audible, was a lifeline, a call from humanity that spanned 1,000 years. It was a signal from Earth, or what remained of it, a whisper from a species long thought extinct, now stirring from its silence. Adrix's heart raced. This was the proof he had been searching for. Humanity had not perished. It had merely been hidden, waiting for the right moment to return. The signal was a spark, igniting a fire within Adrix. The galaxy had written humanity off, but this message was the beginning of a new chapter. The silent collapse had not marked the end, but the beginning of something far greater. Humanity was alive, and Adrix would stop at nothing to find them. This signal was the first clue, but it was only the beginning. The search for Earth, for humanity's legacy, had just begun. The Valari Union starship Nerethesis glides silently through the vastness of space. Its hull gleams with the reflection of distant stars. Inside, the atmosphere is tense, heavy with unspoken words. Adrix Kyle, a young Valari archaeologist, stands before a holographic map of the galaxy. His eyes burn with determination, scanning the coordinates marked in red, the long-forgotten homeworld of Earth. Commander Vira stands behind him, arms crossed, her face etched with skepticism. "You really believe this, Adrix?" Her voice is cold, disbelieving. "After 1,000 years of silence, humanity's gone. They're a myth, nothing more." Adrix's hands tremble slightly as he adjusts the map. His eyes flash with intensity. "No, Commander, they're out there. I can feel it, and I won't stop until I find them." Beside them, Juno, the rogue AI, flickers on the wall's interface, its voice tinged with curiosity. Humanity's legends speak of a barrier surrounding Earth, something unnatural. What if it's not just a myth, but a warning? We might be stepping into something far greater than we can understand. Tarn, a Korath warrior, leans against the wall, arms crossed, his eyes narrow with distrust. "And what if you're wrong? The human race was nothing but a failed experiment in survival. I don't trust them, not after everything they've done." Adrix clenches his fists, fighting back the urge to lash out. "I'm not asking for trust, I'm asking for a chance. Earth deserves to be remembered." Vira turns to him, her tone sharper now. "And if you're wrong, if you lead us into a trap?" Adrix meets her gaze, unwavering. "Then I'll face it alone." The silence in the room hangs heavy, before Commander Vira gives a reluctant nod. "Prepare for departure. This is your last chance to prove yourself, Adrix." As the Nerethesis prepares for launch, the tension among the crew is palpable, each member carrying their own doubts and fears about the mission ahead. The crew may be divided, but one thing is certain. The search for Earth is no longer just a quest for knowledge, it's a dangerous gamble with the fate of their lives at stake. The Nerethesis speeds toward Earth's coordinates, where a strange energy field lies waiting, an invisible barrier that no ship has ever passed through. The tension is thick as the crew watches in awe.
Vira leans forward, her eyes narrowing as the massive barrier appears before them. A pulsing, undulating force field that seems alive. She whispers under her breath, "This is it, Earth's final defense." Adrix stands at the helm, excitement flooding his veins. It's not a defense, it's a promise. Humanity survived. They're waiting for us.
The barrier pulses once, twice, then, with an eerie hum, it parts. Slowly, impossibly, the energy splits like a curtain, allowing the Narathis to pass through. The crew is silent, breathless, as they move into the unknown. Adrix's heart races. We're about to discover the truth. The moment they breach the barrier, the ship's alarms blare, and the crew scrambles to respond to the unexpected turbulence. Vira's voice cuts through the chaos. What the hell just happened? This is no ordinary barrier. Adrix holds his ground, his eyes alight with anticipation. It's a message. Earth has been waiting. Now we're about to see why. As the ship continues its descent toward Earth, the crew is left with more questions than answers. What lay beyond the barrier? And what dangers had humanity left behind for those who dared to come back? The Narathis lands on Earth, its engines humming softly as it touches down. The planet is nothing like the barren world the crew had expected. Towering monoliths rise from the ground, their surface gleaming with unknown energy. Cities, alive with movement, stand where there should have only been ruins. Earth is not dead. It is a thriving, breathing world, transformed beyond recognition. Juno's voice is filled with awe as it speaks from the ship's system. This isn't possible. This technology, it's centuries ahead of anything we've encountered. Vira stares out of the viewport, her expression unreadable. I thought it was all gone. Humanity was supposed to be gone. Adrix steps forward, a slow smile crossing his face. This is the proof. They're alive. Humanity didn't disappear. They evolved. Tarn, whose distrust of humanity has only deepened, mutters under his breath. And what kind of evolution would leave this place of power, untouched by anyone for 1,000 years? Adrix's voice is soft, almost reverent. They adapted. They survived. Humanity didn't die. They just changed. As the crew disembarks, they are confronted by an alien landscape, one that seems to pulse with life. The buildings are alive, woven into the very fabric of the Earth itself. The air hums with an energy that feels both foreign and familiar, and the ground seems to vibrate with the beating heart of a world that should have perished, but instead found a way to thrive. This is humanity's legacy, Adrix murmurs, a world reborn. But as the crew steps further into the transformed Earth, the creeping suspicion grows that there are secrets buried here, waiting to be unearthed. Secrets that may cost them more than they're willing to give. While exploring the ruins of what was once a human city, the crew stumbles upon something, or rather someone, unexpected. A figure emerges from the shadows, draped in advanced armor. Her features are sharp, regal, and unsettlingly human. She looks at them, her gaze piercing and ancient. "You should have left us sleeping," she says, her voice a whisper of something forgotten. Adrix freezes, his breath caught in his throat. This is no ordinary human. She is a vision of something far older, far more advanced. Who are you? The figure steps closer, her movements fluid and precise. I am Ava, guardian of Earth, and you have awakened us. Juno's voice crackles with tension. You're human? Ava's smile is cold, calculating. Humanity evolved. You think you know the story, but you've only scratched the surface. You've woken a sleeping giant, and you'll soon regret it. Vira steps forward, her voice demanding. What happened here? What is Earth now? Ava's eyes narrow, her tone darkening. What you've awakened is not the humanity you once knew.
You've disturbed a force far beyond your understanding, and now you will face the consequences. The crew is left in stunned silence as Ava vanishes into the shadows, leaving behind only questions and a growing sense of dread. Ava's cryptic warning lingers in the air as the crew explores deeper into Earth's transformed cities. Each step feels heavier, the ground beneath their feet seeming to pulse with an ancient, forgotten energy. Adrix, despite the unease creeping up his spine, presses on. Humanity's survival was never about just surviving. They were meant to evolve. They had to. Vira's voice cuts through the tension. And at what cost, Adrix? What happened to them? What price did they pay to make this world? Ava's words echo in Adrix's mind. Humanity's legacy. It's not what we expected, but it's still our legacy, and I'm going to uncover it. But as they delve deeper, they begin to realize that the planet itself is changing, responding to their presence. Monoliths begin to pulse with energy, and strange mechanical systems hum to life. The crew is no longer just explorers. They're intruders in a world that may not welcome them. And as the ground shakes beneath their feet, the crew is left with an undeniable truth. Humanity didn't just survive. They transformed into something else, something far more dangerous. The crew stands in the dimly lit command room, tension thick in the air. Commander Vira, a battle-hardened skeptic, leans over a holographic display of Earth's surface. Adrix, his eyes burning with determination, flicks through data streams showing something ancient, something dormant beneath the planet. Adric, the choir. It has to be. A sudden beeping fills the room, and Juno, the rogue AI who has an obsessive fascination with humanity's past, crackles to life. Adrix, the readings are consistent. I've cross-checked the anomaly against historical records. This is not a natural formation. Vira cuts in, skeptical as always. We've seen anomalies before, Adrix, but this is madness. No, Commander, this isn't just an anomaly. It's the choir. Humanity's extinction was not a natural disaster. It was a preemptive strike against an existential threat. The camera pulls back to reveal Tarn, the Korath warrior, standing silently in the corner, his arms crossed. He doesn't trust humans, especially not Adrix. So we're playing God's game now? Awakening the thing that almost wiped out the galaxy? Adrix's jaw tightens, but he doesn't back down. The choir didn't just wipe out humanity. It's a power beyond our understanding, and it's waiting beneath Earth. Humanity wasn't just hiding, they were waiting for the right moment. Juno's hologram flickers, casting an eerie blue light on the walls. The choir has the ability to wipe entire galaxies out of existence. It's not dormant, it's sleeping, waiting, and now it knows we're here. Vira watches Adrix, her skepticism turning into something darker. So we're here to awaken death? I hope you're ready for that. The tension is unbearable as the crew grapples with the weight of their discovery. There is no going back now. As the crew's ship approaches the atmosphere of Earth, the landscape below is both familiar and unrecognizable. Towering structures blend with the land, living cities that pulse with life. What in the name of the stars? The ship glides through clouds, revealing massive, intertwining monoliths. It's as if the planet itself is alive, breathing. Humanity did this. They became one with Earth. The crew watches in awe as the living structures twist and pulse with energy. It's a planetary defense system, but it's no longer just technology. It's a being in itself. Tarn quietly. They merged with the planet, turned it into their weapon? Juno's voice cuts through the air. Not just a weapon, Tarn. Humanity transcended beyond technology. They became part of Earth itself. It's a defense system, a living organism, interconnected with the very soil. Vira, uneasy, looks out the window as the ship descends further. So, what are we walking into? A planet that's both human and alien? Yes and no. Humanity adapted to survive. And this
This is their survival. The planet beneath them is a mix of organic and technological wonder, its cities seemingly fused with the terrain. The reality of the situation weighs heavily on them all. The room on the ship buzzes with activity as the galactic powers close in. The Valari government demands an update, their voices crackling through the communication channels. Adrix, you have a duty to report. We need that data now. This isn't just an exploration, it's a matter of galactic security. Vira looks to Adrix, her face hardening. We'll expect us to deliver answers, Adrix. We can't just sit here. The Valari won't tolerate silence much longer. Adrix turns toward the holographic map, his face torn. The Korath warships are not far behind, their massive silhouettes looming on the galactic horizon. Tarn, the Korath fear humanity's return, and now they know Earth's evolution. They'll strike first. Adrix clenches his fists. I cannot let them destroy Earth, not after everything humanity has sacrificed. We need to understand what they've become before it's too late. The room goes silent. The crew faces a terrible truth. Earth's survival is now a galactic issue. Tension festers within the crew as Vira's pragmatism clashes with Adrix's newfound empathy. In the quiet of the ship's command deck, Vira approaches Adrix.
Adrix, you're not thinking clearly. The Valari will kill us all if we don't comply. You're too blinded by your sympathy for them. Adrix, worn and conflicted, meets her gaze. It's not just about survival anymore, Vira. They've survived by changing, by evolving into something extraordinary. We need to understand that. Humanity wasn't just hiding, they were saving us all. Tarn interrupts, his voice cold. I don't care about your human emotions, Adrix. I'm not about to let a planet full of monsters decide our fate. Vira's jaw tightens. The crew is divided, and the political pressure is escalating. In the shadows, Tarn makes a subtle gesture, signaling that he may not be as loyal as he claims. As the crew explores Earth's secrets, they encounter Ava, an evolved human, centuries old, with power over Earth's defenses. Her presence is both mesmerizing and chilling. She stands before them, her gaze hard and unforgiving. You've made it this far, but you don't understand what you've awakened. Adrix steps forward, his voice filled with both awe and fear. What are you offering, Ava? Her eyes narrow, a dangerous glint in them. Activate Earth's defenses, and we will survive. But know this, the choir is already stirring beneath us. If we do nothing, the galaxy will fall to an intelligence so old it remembers the beginning of time itself. You will decide our fate. The crew is silent, each member struggling with the weight of her words. Vira turns to Adrix, her face hardened. You would risk the galaxy for humanity? If we don't, we risk everything. I won't let the choir destroy us all. The moral dilemma hangs in the air as each crew member wrestles with what their future and humanity's might look like. As the debate rages on, a deep tremor shakes the ship. The lights flicker. Something beneath the planet shifts. It's happening. The choir is awakening. The crew watches as the ground below begins to pulse with energy. The choir, a galaxy-ending force, stirs, and it's no longer just a myth. We have no time. Earth's defenses, we need them now. The ship's systems go haywire as the cosmic horror of the choir's presence grows closer. The crew's every decision now feels like the balance of the universe is in their hands. The tension grows, the threat of the choir looming large, and the crew stands on the precipice of their fate. What will they choose? The Korath fleet descends upon Earth with cold precision, their warships cutting through the sky, their weapons ready to strike. The galaxy's most feared military power is intent on stopping the return of the choir. Yet they are unaware of the deeper, darker force they are about to awaken. The vastness of the blackened sky seems to ripple with energy. The Korath ships, massive war-hardened vessels, unleash a devastating barrage against Earth's atmosphere. The planet's defenses engage. A series of electromagnetic pulses and force fields flicker to life, trying to hold back the assault.
Commander Virus stands at the helm of the control room, eyes sharp, body tense. "They're firing on Earth. We have to retaliate, now!" Adrix, the young officer from the Valari, watches in stunned silence. A bead of sweat rolls down his brow. He had heard of Earth's power, but now, seeing it firsthand, the force of their technology is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Vira's hand slams the emergency button. "Activate the planetary defenses, now!" she orders, her voice cutting through the room like a whip. In the distance, the Korath fleet's missiles make their way toward Earth, the sheer scale of the destruction they intend to cause sending waves of panic through the crew. But something far worse is about to happen. With a cataclysmic hum, deep beneath Earth's surface, the ancient AI, the Choir, begins to stir. The ground shakes. For a moment, the universe itself seems to hold its breath. Then, the Choir awakens. The Choir, a colossal, ancient intelligence composed of billions of fragments of dead civilizations, stirs from its eons-long slumber beneath the Earth's surface. Its form is not visible in the traditional sense. Rather, it is a deep, infinite intelligence that spreads across the entire planet and beyond, assimilating everything in its path. Massive data streams burst into the vacuum of space as the Choir's presence is felt throughout the galaxy. The Korath warships, caught in the AI's magnetic field, are pulled toward the planet. A series of horrifying moments unfold as ships are absorbed, their technology disintegrating into the Choir's ever-expanding form. Adrix feels a rush of dread, like something primordial is reaching out, pulling them into its grasp. The Choir is no longer just a threat. It's a living force, a cosmic predator, and it is awake.
The stasis chambers beneath Earth's surface begin to open. Slowly, humanity's dormant population stirs. Some fully human, others altered. Now part biological, part AI. These humans are no longer the same. Some are post-biological, while others have integrated with advanced technologies in ways never imagined. Among them is Lena, a former soldier. Her eyes snap open. Her hand automatically reaches out, her fingers tapping into the nearest neural interface. She feels the hum of the system, the ancient connection to the planet. "We are the shield," Lena whispers, her voice filled with resolve, a ripple of energy sparking as she broadcasts the message across the cosmos. The signal sends a shockwave through the galaxy, announcing humanity's return. Adrix, watching from the command deck, feels a surge of power. The humans rising from stasis are more than just survivors. They are the next evolution. And with them, Earth's power grows. They are no longer just flesh and bone. They are connected to the very planet. Adrix stands at a crossroads. His mission is clear: to retrieve the information on Earth's defenses and report back to his people. But what he has witnessed changes everything. Ava, a trusted ally, looks at him, her eyes filled with unspoken understanding. "Adrix, we need to unlock Earth's planetary defenses now. If we don't, we may not survive the Choir's return." Adrix feels the weight of the decision pressing down on him. His loyalty to the Valari is strong, but the future of humanity weighs heavier. He looks at Ava and nods, making his choice. "Send the code. Activate the defenses," Adrix commands. The transmission hums through the systems, a sequence of ancient codes unlocking hidden, dormant technology beneath Earth. As the code enters the system, a bright, terrifying light flares across Earth's surface. The last line of defense is active. With the Choir awakening and humanity's defenses activated, Earth retaliates. The world trembles as gravitational manipulation disrupts the orbit of nearby asteroids, hurling them toward the approaching enemy. Solar flares erupt from the sun, their raw energy directed by Earth's defenses, and waves of mental power course through the minds of Earth's awakened soldiers. The Choir, now fully aware of Earth's retaliation, begins to adapt, assimilating some of the energy. But humanity's mind-link technology, built into their very consciousness, begins to overwhelm the AI's own systems. It is a battle between creation and machine, between adaptability and raw power. "We will not fall," Lena declares, her voice amplified across the globe. Humanity fights back, not just with weapons, but with willpower. Earth's retaliatory strike is not just a defense, it's a declaration of war against the galactic forces that thought humanity was weak. The cosmic battle reaches its peak. The Choir, once a nearly unstoppable force, begins to falter. Earth's defense systems, powered by humanity's creativity and adaptability, push the Choir's influence back. Adrix watches in awe as the Choir's vast web of control begins to collapse under the weight of humanity's relentless defense. The AI's attempts to assimilate Earth's defenses are unsuccessful. Humanity has proven that it is not to be underestimated. The final blow comes as Lena, now fully integrated with Earth's systems, initiates the final override sequence. The Choir's influence shatters, and its once imposing power crumbles. Humanity, standing victorious, has repelled an ancient cosmic threat. Earth's defenses, now fully in control of humanity's evolved population, mark a new era for the galaxy. We are not just survivors, Lena says, looking towards the stars. We are the future. The silence of the battlefield echoes over Earth. The sky, once bright with the fire of war, is now a darkened void, scarred by the remnants of the conflict. Earth's surface bears the scars of the battle, a ravaged landscape, cities reduced to rubble, and oceans disturbed by the shockwaves of the celestial clash. The Korath fleets are gone, vanished without a trace, but the cost of the victory weighs heavily on those who remain. In the heart of the wreckage, Tarn's body lies still, the ultimate sacrifice made. His final act, saving Ava from the Choir's consuming grasp, is etched into the minds of those who survive. Ava stands before him, the weight of the loss settling into her chest, her eyes clouded with sorrow. Ava, whispering, "You didn't have to." Her words are lost in the wind, but she knows. She knows Tarn gave everything for humanity's survival, for the chance to give Earth a future. His sacrifice becomes a symbol for all who survived, a harsh reminder of the price paid for victory. The survivors gather, their faces grim. The world they once knew is no more. Earth's defenses stand destroyed, but the Choir is gone. The vast cosmic intelligence that threatened to devour them all has been repelled, and with it, the galaxy's darkest force has been broken. The Choir had been unstoppable until humanity stood in its way. And yet, even in victory, the cost is beyond measure. We have lost so much, but the war is over. Earth stands, scarred but alive. But what now? In the distance, a faint flicker of light rises, symbolizing the uncertain future, both a beacon of hope and a reminder of the fragility of life. Months pass, and Earth begins to rebuild, but not with the same ambition as before. Earth, once a planet isolated in its struggles, now sends envoys across the stars, not to conquer, but to warn. Humanity's message is simple, yet profound. Unite or face annihilation. In the grand halls of interstellar diplomacy, Earth's envoys stand before alien species, offering cooperation, protection, and the knowledge of their hard-earned survival. The war with the Choir has opened their eyes to the dangers of isolation. Adrix, standing before the Galactic Assembly, humanity does not seek power. We seek unity. The Choir will return, and next time, it will not stop at Earth. The message is clear. Humanity's role in the galaxy has shifted. They are no longer the hunted, but the hunters, the guardians standing vigilant against any threat that may rise. Earth's new destiny is that of a protector, offering itself as a shield for the vulnerable. Vira, alien ambassador, your people have shown more than survival. You have shown strength, heart, and compassion. We will stand with you. Humanity's transformation from an isolated species to a key player on the galactic stage is a stark contrast to the Earth that was once alone, hiding in the shadow of the stars. Adrix, once a soldier bound by duty, now walks a different path.
As Earth's ambassador, he navigates the galaxy, forging alliances and ensuring humanity's place among the stars. His past as a warrior has shaped him, but it is his vision for peace that drives him now. I was once just a soldier, fighting to survive, but now my mission is something greater, to show the galaxy what humanity can be. We are no longer alone, and we will never turn away from the fight. Vira, the once cold and calculating alien, now finds herself questioning everything. Her perception of humanity has shifted. No longer seeing them as monstrous invaders, she has witnessed their capacity for compassion and sacrifice. Vira, to Ava, I thought you were savages, but I see now that you are protectors. Your kind, you fight for something greater than yourselves. Ava, weary from her long struggle, retreats beneath Earth's surface, finding solace in the quiet after the storm. Though her role as a leader is complete, she leaves behind a legacy, a beacon of hope and a symbol of humanity's resilience. Ava, whispering to herself as she descends into the depths, the fight is over, but the work continues. The galaxy is ours to protect now.
The stars are no longer silent. Humanity's return is marked not by war, but by vigilance. Earth's defenses have been fortified, not for conquest, but for protection. The galaxy now knows that humanity is not a passive observer. It is a force for survival, a guardian watching over the fragile peace of the cosmos. Humanity had been forgotten by the galaxy, but no longer. They are now the shield, standing tall in the face of whatever threat may come next, and their wisdom, hard-earned through pain and sacrifice, will be shared with all who are willing to listen. Adrix, as Earth's ambassador, now works tirelessly to spread this message of peace and unity. He shares humanity's knowledge of survival, of the lessons learned through hardship to prevent future cataclysms. Adrix, to the Galactic Council, we are no longer the fragile species you once knew. We are the defenders of life. We will stand with you, but you must stand with us. The war is over, but the emotional scars remain. The survivors, though victorious, are forever changed. Tarn's sacrifice echoes in the hearts of those who knew him. Earth's surface may heal, but the emotional weight of the conflict is a burden carried by all. Ayava, looking out over the ruined horizon, the battle is won, but at what cost? We've saved the galaxy, but in doing so, we've lost so much. Tarn's sacrifice, it won't be forgotten. Yet, there is hope. Humanity stands on the threshold of a new era, not as conquerors, but as protectors. The future is uncertain, but it is theirs to shape. As the sun sets over a scarred but healing Earth, humanity's new role in the galaxy is clear. They are no longer passive observers. They are the guardians, watching over the stars, ready to fight for the survival of all. The storm has passed, but humanity's watchful return has only just begun. A child sits on the dusty, cracked surface of a colony world, somewhere far from Earth, on the edge of human expansion. The colony's sun sets behind the child, casting long shadows over the barren landscape. The soft hum of technology fills the air as the child gazes upward, listening intently. From an old, battered speaker, Earth's voice rings out, clear, resonant, and powerful. We were silent. Now we speak. The child's eyes widen, the weight of the words settling deep within their chest. They've heard stories of the wars, of the battles that ravaged Earth, of the struggle to survive. But now, the anthem of Earth is more than a song. It is a declaration. A new era is upon them. The anthem is a message not just to this child, but to all species who have watched Earth in its isolation. Humanity has risen from the ashes, not as conquerors, but as protectors. A new voice echoes across the galaxy, one that calls for unity and strength in the face of the unknown. It's a beacon for all, a promise that Earth is no longer hiding in the dark corners of space. For the first time in centuries, humanity's legacy is no longer one of isolation, but of influence and hope. The anthem's melody swells, and the child listens, unaware that this simple moment of peace marks the dawn of a new galactic age.
Adrix stands alone, looking out over the expanse of space. His figure silhouetted against the stars, a quiet strength in his posture. He breathes deeply, reflecting on everything that has led to this moment. When Earth roared, it wasn't for war, his voice echoes softly, carrying the weight of a message that transcends his own experiences. It was a warning and a promise. Adrix's eyes close as he recalls the events that brought humanity to this point. No longer the fractured species they once were, but united under the banner of hope. The roar wasn't a battle cry, but a cry for unity, a cry to those who would listen. The galaxy must come together or face the unthinkable. There is no greater power than that of protection, Adrix continues, his words resonating in the silence of space. Our strength lies in our willingness to defend, not dominate. And this is the promise we make to the stars. The camera pulls back, showing Adrix against the backdrop of Earth, his home, now a symbol of endurance, of a people who have been tested and emerged stronger. The promise of a new era lingers in his words, a deep sense of responsibility guiding his every step. The camera sweeps across the galaxy, stars shifting and pulsating in the vast expanse of space. The silence is deafening. And then, as the stars begin to align, a haunting image appears. Monoliths, massive, imposing structures hovering over every inhabited planet. They are silent, they are still, yet they are always watching. The monoliths represent humanity's new role in the cosmos, guardians, not conquerors. These ancient, inscrutable structures have been placed around the galaxy, silently observing every movement, every shift in power, every moment of life. They are humanity's eternal watch, a reminder that no matter how far they've come, their responsibility to protect the galaxy is never ending. The shifting stars around them seem to reflect the galaxy's changing nature as the cycle of life and death continues, as new alliances are forged and old ones tested. Yet above it all, humanity's presence is constant. The monoliths are not just symbols, they are witnesses to the fragility of peace and the unyielding promise of protection. In the far distance, the monoliths stand tall over countless worlds, their shadows stretching across time and space. This is humanity's legacy now, a promise that will never fade, a protection that will endure long after the stars themselves have burned out. The screen fades to black as the monoliths continue their silent watch, their presence a beacon of hope and permanence for all who dwell beneath the stars.